Hello all. In today's video we will look at the basics of S3. So S3 is a wide topic in AWS as well. There are multiple configurations. So today we will start with some of the basics and will subsequently I will create other videos for some of the other topics in S3. Okay. So let's get started. So S3 is used to store objects. It's an object storage from AWS. Okay, so now to create S3 you go to Amazon console and click on create a bucket. Right. So I will create here. Now the bucket name needs to be unique. Okay, it can't be the same. Like suppose some other account has a name like my AWS bucket, and if I try to create with the same name, it won't create. Right, so I will create something new. I'll create my KLM BCKT. So I've just given an arbitrary name. Okay, I will say my test BKT 87. So I've given a name that is unique, and the next thing is you have to specify the region. I will make it as US East 1. Right, next is, do you have an existing bucket which you want to copy the settings? No, I don't have. Next is ownership. Do you want only this bucket to be accessible by accounts in this by object? You only want this bucket to be accessed by this account, or you want other AWS accounts to access this bucket as well? Okay, objects in this bucket can be owned by other AWS accounts. So I will just make it as disabled for now. Next is, do you want it to be public? Like sometimes you want a bucket to be public, but that's a risk. So it's up to you, whatever your configuration is. So if you enable this public access, then you get this warning as well that object will become public. Okay, so next is, so you get some options here. Bucket public granted through new ACLs, bucket block public access to buckets through any access list and all. So you get all these options, but for now I will put it as block all public access. The other option that we see is versioning. Versioning is, for every object there will be a version created. So if you delete, if you modify, so you always have a previous version if you want to roll back. If you we'll see, like we'll create an object, we'll delete it and we'll try restoring it using versioning. So it has its benefit. Next is tag. Now encryption. So do you want the objects in the bucket to be encrypted? So yes, I want it to be encrypted. Okay, so what kind of encryption do you want? Do you want an S3 managed encryption, or you have another thing called as KMS, the key management service of AWS? Do you want the key management service to manage the S3? So it's up to you. You can use S3 or KMS, and even in KMS you can actually create your own key by going here, click on create your own key, and once that key is created, you can actually come back here and use that key. So I will use S3 manage for now. Okay, next is advanced setting. Object lock, you can enable an object lock as in you can enable it that for certain time nobody should be able to delete an object in the bucket. So sometimes it's required, it's a legal requirement that says documents should not be deleted and all. So for that, this object lock is required. So I will not do it, and I will just click on create bucket here. Okay, so this is a very basic configuration. We'll look at some of the other things once we create the bucket. So my bucket is created. Okay, this is my bucket, and as you see, I don't have anything here for now. So I can click here and I can upload. I can also create a folder inside it, or I can upload an object. Okay, so we'll come to this. Let's look at other options. So this is for upload. This is the properties. What are the properties for this bucket? This is the ARN. when it was created, versioning is enabled, encryption is enabled. Do you want an intelligent tiering archive configuration? We will cover this as well. Do you want it to be logged? Okay, do you want to have a crowd tail data events? So you have to go and configure a trail here. Okay, so you can create a trail of it. Where do you want to be, stored and all. So you can create a particular trail of like whoever is accessing it, new or existing, that will be enabled for you. Okay, so this is crowd trail, this was KMS. Do you want to configure an event notification? So what is an event notification? That whenever I upload something, right, or I delete something or I modify something, I can set up notification that for certain actions I want to be notified, like for all objects created. Okay, I want to be notified, so I just need to give for what object I need to be notified here. Okay, and then I can say that okay, it should be in this part. If there is something called as images folder, so for any anything, any extensions that are .jpg in the images folder, if they are, if they are if anything is uploaded, or if it is posted, copied, or if something is removed, okay, permanently deleted and all, or if it is restored and all, I should be notified. So with this you can actually get notified. And then what should be the destination? Do you want a lambda function to be notified? Do you want a SNS topic? Do you want a SQSQ? Okay, if you want a lambda, what should be the lambda function here? Right, so there are multiple options here that you can actually use to get notified. Okay, next is permissions. So this is the bucket policy, object ownership, ACL. All right, so this is for it. These are the metrics. This is the management. You can create a lifecycle rule. Okay, so we'll cover this. Then you can actually enable replication. You can have an inventory configuration as well, and these are the access points. So you can actually create an access point for this bucket. Okay, and you can share the access point in the VPC or internet as well to access the particular bucket. Okay, so you can add a new statement of who should be able to access the bucket from where. So you can actually create a bucket policy here. You will see some suggestions. You can click here on policy examples. It will show you what are the different types of access policies you can actually create if you want to actually a particular user to a bucket. There are certain examples that you can see, and based on that you can actually create a policy. So we have all these things that are available. So for now, let us just create an object. We'll go here, we'll add a file. So I have this particular JPG that I have, this one. I will go and upload it. So we can see that this is getting uploaded and it is taking a little while, but actually I'm uploading it in a region that is not so this is actually uploaded now. If I click here, this is my and this is the object URL. So if you can see, I have an object denied because I don't have the policy configured for me to access it. Okay, so this is my so I'm getting this access denied because I don't have a public access enabled for my this bucket. Okay, so this is the storage class, this is these are all the permissions. Okay, versions. Right, so this is my object that I have uploaded. Now let's try to delete it. I'll say delete. So now we can see in the bucket we don't have any object, right? But we have enabled versioning. So let's see what happens if I go here. So I can see the version of my file that is here. Okay, so this is a delete marker. It points to my particular file. So what I can do, I can just click on this and I can again, I won't be able to see it, but I can actually, download as save link as. So on desktop I can create it as _1. So I have this file that was deleted, but again I have restored it from the delete marker, right? So this is the advantage of it. Now if I want, I can again go back and upload it. Okay, so this is where this versioning helps us, right? So you can download, you can particularly delete it, or what else you can share with a pre-signed URL, right? So you have all these options that are particularly available for you. Okay, so this is how the basic functions of S3 are, and this is how the versioning works, and we can create bucket and we can also upload it. Okay, and we deleted it. Now if I want to delete this particular version, what I can do is I can actually go here and I can say delete it. So now I don't have any versions available for my particular object. Okay. Yep. And I can also create a folder here, and then I can also put particular files in that particular folder. It's always beneficial to have different folders and put the files there so that it's easily sortable. Okay. So alright guys, this is about creating a simple S3 bucket and uploading. We saw how we create, how we upload, and we also we looked at different properties, permissions, metrics, management, access points. Okay, and we also created a file, deleted it, and we also restored it using a version. Okay, so this is about it. I will create some more videos about S3 and we'll discuss further. Thank you for your time. Do subscribe to my channel.